Hello, I'd like to talk about this knife, the Magnum Lil Hiker. This knife is made by Magnum by Boker. Magnum is owned by Boker. I believe Boker actually has 3 different companies. I believe it goes Boker, then Boker Plus, then Magnum by Boker, like this one. The Boker knives, I believe, are made in Germany, and then the Boker Plus and Magnum by Boker are made in Taiwan and China. If I remember correctly, this particular one, the Lil Hiker, is made in Taiwan, but it is still a very high quality knife, at least in my opinion, and I think this knife is pretty reasonable for the price. I believe I paid around £30 to £40 for this knife from Heine Haynes, although I cannot remember. The sheath is leather. I'm a big fan of that. I quite like leather. Background's leather here actually. Well, this is suede, but still. You can see the belt loop there. It's just the leather folded over to the suede side and riveted on. The construction of the sheath seems pretty decent, although you can see about the thread coming up there. That's not really a problem. And of course the sheath fits the knife pretty nicely. Anyway, moving on from the sheath. The blade, I believe, is around 3 inches, which is about 7.62 centimeters. I'll just check just now. So the cutting edge is, about roughly 7.5 centimeters. Just a little bit under 3 inches. Overall length, almost 18 centimeters. The knife feels okay in the hand, although it does feel a little slippery. This is one of the knives that I have actually used. A lot of the knives in my collection I don't actually use. I just like knives, but a lot of them I don't use because I don't want to make a mess of them. I've used this to try and carve wood. It does shave pieces of wood, but it does get pretty difficult, so this probably isn't the best knife for that. I've said it before, I'm not really that interested in what the steel is, but this is 440 stainless steel, which is what it says on the tang stamp here. You can see there, Magnum by Boker. I'm assuming, just by looking at it, that this is a rat tail tang that goes right to the back. You could see there on the pommel, I'm assuming this circle here is the tang, which means it does go all the way through, but it's not the full thickness of the handle. This handle is stacked leather and it has been finished very nicely. I'm not sure what this black or white material is, but it gives it a nice look. It has been polished and it is quite smooth and shiny, as you should be able to see. There is a bit of jumping on the blade. It is of course a clip point. Overall, I do say it is a really nice knife. It's a nice little fixed blade. The sharpness is okay out of the box. Now I've had this knife about 3 years and I have used a little bit, so I've resharpened it. It doesn't necessarily come razor sharp, but I've got no doubt that you could make this knife razor sharp like any other. Not 100% sure on what that grind is, but I think it's hollow. I think it's a hollow grind knife. As I said, it's a clip point. I think this would make a good camping knife. Maybe not so much a bushcraft knife, but a general purpose camping knife, just for getting a fire going. I'm pretty sure I have struck this with a have struck a ferro rod with this, and I'm pretty sure you could do it on this jimping right here. But I think one of the best uses for this is a camp knife or just a general purpose utility knife. Maybe not so much a bushcraft knife, maybe not so much a camping knife, but you could certainly cut food with this, prepare food, you know, get a fire going, whittle down some wood, but you're not going to be doing much fine detail unless you change the edge or at least made it a lot sharper. That's something I'm meaning to do. I do need to put a nice razor edge on this. I might do that after this video, who knows. It would definitely be an okay option as a hiking knife if you were going up, hiking up the hills or through the woods. This would be an okay option to have hanging on your belt, and in my opinion it probably would go pretty well with a Mora, such as a Mora Companion, although I probably would not use this as a primary knife. But that's just my opinion though. Thank you for watching.